Hey, brothers and sisters, welcome to another time of Bible teaching. I've addressed this topic so many times, and I'm going to do it again. This time, we're just going to look at, was Messiah crucified on Wednesday or on Thursday? Okay. And I obviously believe Thursday, but I'm going to show you three reasons why it has to be Thursday and it cannot be Wednesday. The first has to do with when Messiah came into the temple to be examined. That would have been Saturday or Sunday. The second will be the women. When they went to prepare the body, they waited until Sunday to come back and finish. That tells the story. And then we'll look at what 3 days and 3 nights actually are. Okay? You ready? Great. Let's open up the Bible. And we're not starting with the 3 days and 3 nights. We're going to save that for last. Let's start with Exodus 12. So again, this is a Bible study. So that means we open up our Bibles. Get your Bibles out. Make notes. Exodus 12. This is where people get confused because there's a lot of people teaching this is the beginning of the year. It's not. There's actually 4 New Years on a Jewish calendar. There's the beginning of months, which is where you start numbering your months from. There's a beginning of years, Tishri 1. There's a beginning of the year for tithes. And believe it or not, there's a new year for trees. Anyhow, let's read this here. Speak to the congregation of Israel. On the 10th day of the month, every man shall take for himself a lamb according to his house of his father, a lamb for his household. And if we come down here a little bit, then you take that lamb. Now you shall keep it until the 14th day on the same month. Then the whole assembly of the congregation of Israel shall kill it at twilight. That word twilight there is actually 3 p.m. It's between the Sabbaths. Excuse me. My apologies. Between the evenings, it's 3 p.m. And that's when Messiah died. And that's when they would have actually killed the one lamb that represented all of Israel. But the reason it's in the house for that long, why? Right here. The lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You may take it from the sheep or from the goats. So it's in the house for 4 days to make sure that it is without blemish. Let's go to Matthew 21 and look at how Messiah fulfills this. And all of these appointed times speak about Messiah in his first and second coming. So in the beginning, they brought the donkey and the colt and they laid the clothes on them and he set him upon it. So he came in on the donkey, right? All right, now here's my question. Hold on one second. I got to move. I keep hitting a cord and moving the camera. That should be better. All right. So he came in and he's got to be there for 4 days. He needs to be questioned to make sure that he is without flaw or blemish. If we look down, Jesus has his temple tantrum. He's cleaning out the leaven from his father's house, something that would be done before the Feast of Unleavened Bread. There's the fig tree, then the lessons from the fig tree. And you've got everybody coming and they're asking questions. And Jesus is telling parables, but they keep asking him all these questions, all through 21, through 22. And Messiah is telling parables along the way, but they're saying, and everybody's trying, like the Pharisees went and plotted how they might entangle him in his talk. They're trying to find that there is an issue with him, that he is wrong, and they can't. And what's the final at the end of all of this? What is said? Very end of 22. The funniest one is if you read this, how can David call his descendants Lord? But anyhow, and no one was able to answer him a word, nor from that day on did anyone dare question him, because he schooled them. He wrote it all. He knows it. He schooled them. They found no fault and no blemish in him. So he's in the temple for 4 days to do this. Now, if he's crucified on Thursday, he comes in on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, crucified on Thursday. If he's crucified on Wednesday, he's crucified on Wednesday, it would be Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday. He would have rode the donkey in on a Saturday. Anybody have any problems with that? Messiah is a Torah observant Jew. He didn't break any of the laws, but you're not allowed to make your animals work on the Sabbath. He would have been breaking the law, breaking Torah, if he'd have rode that donkey into town on a Saturday. He would not have done that. To me, that's enough to take Wednesday and just throw it out. All right, let's look at something else. The women that with the grave. Okay, let's go to Matthew 21. The women tell a story here. Matthew 21. And what verse do I have here? 40? Let's just start from, am I in the right place? No, I'm not. Give me a second. All right. I'm sorry. It's Luke, and we want to start in chapter or verse 50. Behold, there was a man named Joseph. This is Joseph of Arimathea, a council member. So he was a member of the um, Sanhedrin, a good and just man. So he's a poor observant. He's in good standing. And we see here that not everybody in the Sanhedrin agreed with what they did. He had not consented to their decision and deed. He was from Arimathea, a city of the Jews, who himself was waiting for the kingdom of God. And this man went to Pilate and asked for the body of Jesus. Then he took it down, wrapped it in linen, and laid it in the tomb that was hewn out of rock, where no one had ever lain before. That's important. Otherwise, if he was in a place with dead people, he would have been unclean. That day was preparation, and the Sabbath drew near. This tells you right here that Passover is the day of preparation. The Sabbath is coming near. And we saw that that's not a Saturday. That's the the feast of unleavened bread. And the woman who had came with him from Galilee followed after. They observed the tomb and how the body was laid. Then they returned home and prepared spices and fragrant oils. They rested on the Sabbath according to the commandment. So they are home before the Feast of Unleavened Bread begins. So they can't come back the next day. It's a Sabbath. So they can't come and do this. Okay. If this is Thursday, they can't come back on Friday because it's the Feast of Unleavened Bread. If he's crucified on Thursday, they can't come back on Friday. They can't come back on Saturday because it's the weekly Sabbath. They have to wait until Sunday when Messiah arises. If it's a Wednesday that Messiah is crucified, they cannot come back on Thursday because Thursday is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But there is nothing stopping them from coming back on Friday. Friday would not have been a Sabbath. They would have done it Friday and not Sunday. But we know they came back on Sunday. Again, telling you that Messiah was crucified on Thursday. You can take Wednesday and throw it out. So now let's go to, keep in mind here with this, the body was in the grave before the Sabbath started. That's important. Okay. It's very important. So now let's go to Matthew 12 and look at the 3 days and 3 nights. Verse 40 is what Messiah had to say. Sorry about that, spinning all over the place. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a great fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Okay. So he's going to be in the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights. If he's okay, when does a day start? The new day. When does it start? Midnight? Nope. Evening, twilight, night, and then day. Look at creation, Genesis 1, if you have an issue with that. It starts with the night and then the day. The nights come first. We got to be real careful looking at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because a Monday that we know a Monday is going to be 2 different days on a Jewish week. Okay. But if he's crucified on a Wednesday and he arises on a Sunday, in between are 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He would be there all Friday night and Saturday, Friday day and night, Saturday day and night. I'm sorry, Thursday day and night, Friday day and night, Saturday day and night. There's 3 days and 3 nights. But he was there. He would have been there during the day after he was crucified. He'd have been there Wednesday day. He also would have been there Sunday night, what we would know of Sunday night, because night comes first, but part of Sunday. He has to be there on Sunday and arise on the Feast of First Fruits. But crucified on Wednesday, those 3 days and 3 nights never touched Sunday. He could not be the first fruits of the resurrection of life that arose on the Feast of First Fruits. I know this gets confusing, but does this say 72 hours? It can't say 72 hours. They didn't count hours that way. There's only 12 hours in a day because only the daylight has hours. The night has 4 watches. It doesn't say 3 full days and 3 full nights. It just says 3 days and 3 nights. Crucified on a Thursday. He's there Thursday during the day. It's just a little bit, but he's there. Thursday during the day, Friday during the day, and Saturday during the day. And then he's there Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. Understand the nights come first, if that makes sense. Okay, so he's there 3 days and 3 nights. And it's a little bit on either end and 2 full days in the middle. But if you go 3 full days in the middle and a little on this end and a little on this end, you are over 3 days and 3 nights. And we know that the women came at sunrise and the tomb was already moved. So there's 3 reasons why biblically Messiah could not be crucified on a Wednesday. He had to be crucified on a Thursday. Now, if you're going to take this information, you're going to go back and try to figure out what day of the week Messiah is crucified on. Understand this. You're going to look for Nisan 14. But a date you're going to find, let's say you find that Nisan 13 was on a Tuesday. The next day, Nisan 14 is Tuesday starting at evening twilight. And it goes into Wednesday, it's still Nisan 14 when Messiah be crucified. But now if you see a Tuesday, what if they didn't see the new moon? That could go to Thursday, Wednesday. It could go to Thursday. You've got to take that into consideration. I know this is confusing. Lay it back, listen to it. Make notes, make a timeline, draw it out. Okay, and I'm not good with doing timelines and stuff. I just can't make them. I'm sorry. To me, it was just a blessing that I could put the Bible on this and go to internet pages and whatever. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. May God bless you. Take care.